My name is Aldrich Edward, and I'm the president of Babonneau Youth Synergy.
Aldrich, first question is, tell us about Babonneau Synergy. When was it formed? What is its objectives and so on?
Babonneau Youth Synergy was formed about 3 years ago. We officially launched. The group has been in existence for about 5 years now, but again, we really got the ball rolling about 3 years ago. Babonneau Youth Synergy is a group of very vibrant young persons. So far, we have about 25 person membership, but we're looking to expand. It's open to anybody who's between the ages of 18 and 35, willing to work. A lot of what we do is voluntary, right? The aims and objective of the group, though, is to serve as the voice of the young persons of Babonneau, and to perhaps foster care between the youth and the elderly, and basically to keep the young persons engaged in positive activities in the Babonneau constituency. But our ultimate goal, though, is to transform into a business, creating employment for our unemployed members and the wider communities, the youth from the wider communities by extension.
All right, Aldrich, there's quite a bit that you're doing and you plan to do. But give us some idea as to exactly what inspired the idea. Was it a group of people just sitting around somewhere, or what exactly caused the group to be formed?
I must say that in Babonneau, the youth are almost, everybody is pretty much doing the very own thing, and there is no form of recognition, right? So on the backdrop of that, we realize that our young persons are not involved in much, especially voluntary work and some good form of community spirit, right? So hence the reason why we decided to form this group, and just to serve that very purpose.
Now, since you've been formed, you've been around for 5 years, but you were launched fairly recently. Give us an idea of some of the things that you've covered.
We've done a lot. For beginners, we've coordinated football tournaments. We've donated hampers to the elderly. Not too long ago, we donated a wheelchair to a disabled man, bedridden for about 13 years now, and it was very emotional for him because he did start crying, saying that it's been 13 years he's not been able to get outside of his house, and thanks to us and the wheelchair, of course, he's able to be mobile and go around to visit friends and that sort of thing. Every year we have an annual back to school campaign, where we hand out backpacks and school items to the needy students of all the schools in Babonneau. We've partaken in fundraising activities, helping the sickly. Right, not too long ago, we actually spearheaded a fundraising barbecue and dance for a young guy who's undergoing dialysis treatment. Aside from that, we have built a home for an elderly lady. We've been helping in home repairs. And now for us, the biggest project is the tree planting project, of course, funded by Jeff. We will also be setting up a permanent nursery where we'll be growing plants and selling plants, creating a little form of income, right? Some form of employment for some of our unemployed members. But aside from that, it is our very intention to purchase maybe about an acre or 2 acres of land where we'll set up an estate and we'll be planting cocoa. We will be fermenting the cocoa beans, shipping them, and also transforming into, actually setting up our own chocolate factory. So pretty soon we'll be having our own branded chocolate in Babonneau, right? So there's a lot that we have accomplished, but there's a lot still before us, right? But we do intend to stick to our objectives, and I must say that our members, they're very vibrant, very, very vibrant, and everybody's up to the task.
All right, now you mentioned you have Jeff supporting this and you plan to raise your own funds. Prior to that, how were you raising your funds to like, for example, get a wheelchair and those kind of things?
Okay, the wheelchair was actually donated by a Good Samaritan. And thank you, I must say, to Miss Batilia Karu. We know in the community as Evia, right? Since her dad passed, the wheelchair was just there. So we decided, well, you know what, let's put it to good use, right? Let's put it to good use. A wheelchair is very demanding. We have a lot of sick persons in the constituency, right? So we then decide to donate it as one of our group activities.
And the other things you've done, you've raised funds to buy books and other school supplies. Yes. I'm just trying to get a sense of how you raise your money.
We do a lot of it through through sponsorship, or rather begging, right? But
Solicitation.
yes, but thankfully we are a good crop of persons. We very much trustworthy. So the little that we do get, it goes a very long way for us, and we're very much appreciative of that.
Now, Aldrich, I know we're somewhere from Assau along the river that goes into Assau area. Where exactly are we standing right now?
Okay, at present we're in the Isne River, and the Isne River is a tributary to the Maki River, right? We just, if I can say, we just passed the Foaso playing field, and we have about a mile or so left to go. So, yeah, it's a lot of hard work ahead of us.
So what exactly is that work? What exactly are you doing in this river?
Okay, as part of our project, it entails a river cleanup, right? And it's going to be happening every quarterly. So every 3 months, we'll be going around cleaning the river, getting rid of the plastics, the styrofoams, the bits of metal, bottles, and everything which basically is not supposed to be in there. That's what we're getting rid of today.
That's quite a task you have ahead of you. I'm just seeing where we're standing. This quite a bit of stuff. It's going to be a challenge.
Yes. It has been quite challenging. Of course, most of us have taken on an unwanted dip, I can say, right? But we devoted to what we do, and that's a very good thing. We will get to the end.
Of course, and if you're going to do it on a regular basis, then at least you have your work cut out. Yeah. That means that the community too needs to understand what you're doing and to at least stop throwing things in the river as well.
Yes, we also will be undertaking a sensitization campaign where we go through the different communities, and then we keep them abreast as to what's happening and what is expected of them. Right. So far, we've been receiving some very good remarks. Right. A lot of persons applaud the venture, and we're just hoping that everybody would be able to communicate clearly and just make the river our main concern, right? Because we all know that water is life, and we have to preserve whatever is left. Because of course, the talks of climate change and global warming, pretty soon we might as well have no rivers. So right, so this is one of the things that we do need to nurture, right? The rivers, and then that would somewhat help us to combat climate change.
All right, finally, Aldrich, I know we have to move on. There's a lot of work to be done here. There's another component to this. You plant along the riverbank as well?
Yes, we will be planting along the riverbank. So we're looking to establish about a 10 to 20 meter buffer area. So we'll be planting along both sides of the river when necessary. Some works have been undertaken by forestry and I guess Wasco, right? So we intend to complete that and to have a constant monitoring and evaluating system where every 2 weeks or so we go along the river channel, and if there are any trees damaged or stolen, we'd have to replace them, right? But it's one that we intend to be quite successful, and we're working diligently and also very hard in achieving that.
I said final question, but I just want to ask you a little bit more about the trees. What kind of trees are you planting there?
We're looking at a lot of mangoes because we realize that where the mangoes are being planted, the soil actually stabilizes very, very much, right? Because riverbank stabilization is one of the key components of the project. We're also looking to plant some forest trees like mahogany, malina, because these, could also play a critical role. But like I said earlier, cocoa is also one of the main focal trees that we'll be planting because it's our intention, of course, to set up the ferment plant.
All right, well, Aldrich, thanks a lot. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again. We'd like to wish you all the best for your exercise today, and we look forward to the tree planting as well.
Okay, great. Thank you, sir.